Second down and goal for Tua. Mostert is back there. Lamb a block. It's Mostert. Blocked by Smythe. Touchdown, Miami.
And we just saw the red zone production by the Dolphins today.
It's good. Second and goal. Mostert. Diving. Touchdown. Tagovailoa has thrown 3 touchdowns today. Mostert, touchdown.
What up, what up? New week. Shitty week 6 for me. Ya que it's fantasy football. Shit happens. Injuries happen. On to next week. So I'll go over last week results. I'll do the position challenge, lowest scorer, blowout of the week, which was me. Highest scorer. I'll go over the standings. And then we'll go over week 7's matchups. All right. So last week's results, week 6, we had Los Borrachos losing to Mike and the Boys, 99-189. We had the Arab Sensations losing to Los Tanks, 87-143. OG Men losing to the Warhammers, 112-113. Nighthawk beating the Fuegos, 138-137. And the Rook beating the Rebel Scum, 146-116. Yeah, there was those 2 matchups. Honestly, I wasn't really paying attention. I said my matchup was done on Thursday with the 20 points from Travis Kelce. Thought my team could pull it off, but fucking injuries and just drop passes and no targets. OG Men. I thought Eckler would have put more points up. Ended up missing by 1. Nighthawk versus the Fuegos. Yeah, I think at the end it was like a defensive thing, and they finally intercepted him. But I saw there was a few close ones, I think, during the game. But yeah, that defense should have done a little bit better. I mean, I think they only had like 1 sack or something like that. 1 or 2 sacks. The Arab Sensation putting up the lowest score this week. It's just like I said. And then Rebel Scum only putting up 116. I'm sure that had to do with McCaffrey kind of going out. And that the Niners losing to Cleveland. I believe Brock Purdy didn't perform. That Cleveland defense is pretty legit. Yeah, those are the results. I'll go over the position challenge, lowest scorer, blowout of the week, and then high scorer. All right, and this week on our position challenge, it was Justin Herbert versus Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts beating out Justin Herbert 26-27. They had similar stats. Well, Jalen Hurts had 280 pass yards, 1 passing touchdown, and one rushing touchdown. And Herbert had 2 passing touchdowns and 220 pass yards and 20 rushing. Yeah, it was pretty close. That interception at the end, I guess, put it down. I think we lose 1 point per interception. I don't quite remember. But even then, it would have been 27-17 35 to 27, 70. The Fuegos, Los Borrachos voted for Jalen Hurts. OG Men voted for Justin Herbert. So that's the OG Men with the chug this week. We'll go over blowout and lowest score and high score.
Score of the week.
What have you done, Schmidt?
All right, and our lowest score of the week was not me. It was the Arab Sensation with 87 points. A lot of it was pretty much underperformance. One injury with Deebo Samuel. But yeah, Mahomes not putting up the points that he usually does. He only put up 23 out of his 30. Stephon Diggs doing his projected. Like I said, Deebo Samuel got injured. McLaughlin with Javonte Williams back. I don't know if he's going to get that work that he was getting when Javonte was out. Ford putting up points. They played the Niners defense. We'll see how the rest of when you get a better matchup, how that split works with Kareem Hunt in there. Cole Kmet came down, especially because Justin Fields got injured. He was out for the game, most of the game. Jerry Jeudy. Hey, Steve Smith tried to warn you, man. That was just a regular receiver. He's not an elite receiver. Put Gibson in there, 8 points. He did pretty much as projected. Philly defense, I would have thought they put up more points going up against the Jets, but it is what it is. Had Tyler Boyd on your bench, could have gave you 16 points. Yeah, I would have put him over Antonio Gibson. Not sure what you heard about Gibson, but that would have probably been the only move I would have thought of making. But yeah, man, better luck next week. I think better matchups. We'll go over your matchup and see what moves you can make. And you should be getting some players back, I believe. So we'll see.
Blowout of the week.
Daniel, give us your thoughts right now.
I don't know, man. I thought the fight was going well. I don't even know what happened. It's like I got kicked in the head. Oh, man, I'm so disappointed.
Well, here she is. They left her under an overpass for the night.
Did you find anything?
Yeah, we found a lot of stuff. From bodily fluid and hair samples, we determined that a bunch of old homeless dudes had an orgy in the car.
Oh, God.
Yeah. You know what that's called when they do that in there? It's called a soup kitchen. It's pretty rough stuff.
Is it a struggle or spent shells?
No, believe me, everybody that was in on this orgy was more than willing. In fact, they even left you a note here. Thanks for the F-Shack. Love Dirty Mike and the boys. Here's something we found.
And the biggest blowout of the week was Mike and the boys versus Los Borrachos with a margin of 89 points, which is second of the season. Last week was 123 points, and the rest have been in the 50s or 40s. Taking a look at the matchup. Yeah, Los Borrachos had a few guys not performing. Josh Allen struggling against the Giants. Didn't see that coming. Puka Nakua dropping a touchdown pass. Devontae Adams not getting any targets. David Montgomery going down. Brees Hall put up 22. Goddard doing his points. Fucking tight end. I mean, that's the best I could expect for. Osborne close to his projection. Chuba Hubbard going a little bit over. The Falcons defense not putting up that much points either. I would have thought against Washington they'd fucking put more. I mean, they had 5 sacks, but you would have thought they would have held them in check, being at home and everything. Fucking Falcons, get that shit together, man. But yeah, like I said, this matchup was done on Thursday with 20 points from Travis Kelsey. Goddard had put up 26 the week before, but I mean that was against the Rams. You start your tight ends against the Rams. And then, like I said, it lost David Montgomery. Josh Allen got injured in the middle of the game. He had to go out for a few snaps, and yeah, losing David Montgomery is not wasn't ideal. And also, I Justin Jefferson on IR. So, see what next week. Hopefully, I could put up more points. Still third place.
High scorer of the week.
And I gotta tell you, it was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details. Just like her.
How you fellas doing? We're about to have us a little screw party in this red Prius over here if you want to join us.
Oh, you're not going anywhere near that Prius, okay?
Here's what we're talking about. We're talking about a bunch of hobos with fingers in each other's pooper in a stranger's car with talk radio playing really loud. It's gonna be a nice evening.
Well, we're not participating in that. We have no interest.
Let me rephrase it. We got a jar of old mustard and we got a poodle and we're just gonna get in there and we're gonna put some D's in some A's.
Hey, are you Dirty Mike and the boys?
How you know who we are?
You left a note in that car.
Police, shithead.
He's a copper. We gotta go. Come on! Hey, goose it, boys! They're cops! Rub your dicks on the car as you run away!
You turned my beautiful Prius into a nightmare.
We are gonna have sex in your car. It will happen again.
And last but not least, our high scorer of the week, with 31 points from Tua, 9 from Devontae Smith, 12 from Metcalf. Obviously, the 36 points from Mostert is what kind of put him over a bit. Kamara with 19. He was projected 18, so pretty much is projected. Kelsey with the 23 points. Pollard 19, but by that point he already beat me. Terry McLaurin 16. Minnesota with 21. I swear it's like every time I play someone. So if you play with me, your defense is gonna blow up. Week 1, the Jets. When I played Los Tanks, the Bills blew up for like 30 points. Here played Mike and the boys, Minnesota, 21 points. So you're guaranteed your defense to blow up against me. Because you're not gonna see that from Minnesota again. Same thing with the Jets. You never saw them put up the 30 points again. But it is what it is. Like I said, it's fantasy football. Yake. Yeah, a lot of his players went over projected. The only one who the least amount of points he had was 9, which was from Devontae Smith, who's been struggling this season. And now they signed Julio Jones. Who knows how that target distribution looks? But yeah, and Mostert, fucking. I was hoping Wilson would be active. That way, they could do more of a timeshare, but obviously not. Fucking Miami. But yeah, I mean, Kamara coming out, and the good thing about Carr is that he always checks it down, so you get those receptions, those little drop down, little passes. That's why last year Jacobs was so productive, was because he was getting those check downs from Derek Carr. Travis Kelsey, I mean, fucking, if Swift shows up to the game, he's gonna put up points. Tony Pollard, he just had that big ass run. Other than that, I mean, he was having kind of a down game. Terry McLaurin finally gets some targets. Fucking Howell had been targeting Samuels and all the other guys, and Logan Thomas. Looks like Thomas suffered this week from with McLaurin coming in. Tua, I mean, three passing touchdowns, 262 pass yards. He didn't have any rushing. Metcalf wanted to put up 12, but I mean, it's Metcalf. He's gonna be. I think he got kicked out or something. Something happened with him. I don't know if he got injured or something. I saw a clip where he shoved a corner. I'm not sure what that's all about, but yeah, congrats. I don't know if this is because the Rook put up 214. I think other people put up like 190 something. I'm not sure if 189 is that high up in the score, but it was the highest this week. He could have beat anybody in the league had he played anybody else. But good luck next week. A ver if you keep it up, maybe move up in the rankings.
The league weekly standings.
All right, and that brings us to our standings. In first place, you got the Nighthawk at 5-1. Number 2, Los Tanks at 5-1. Third place, Los Borrachos at 3-3. Fourth place, the Rook at 3-3. In fifth place, OG Men at 3-3. In sixth place, the Arab Sensations at 3-3. In seventh, Mike and the Boys at 2-4. In eighth place, the Fuegos at 2-4. In ninth, the Rebel Scum at 2-4. And in 10th place, we have the Warhammers at 2-4. So a lot of us are pretty close. Everybody's like one win away, one loss, and we're all kind of close to each other. We're halfway through the season. Our season ends week 14, so we're in week 7, halfway there, fellas. Could be a lot of movements. Some people that are 2-4 that have more points than some of the guys out here. If you sort it, it's just Mike and the Boys. That's what I had said. We should talk about maybe moving whoever has low. Like if the season ended now, it would kick out the Arab Sensation because he has 766, and put in Mike and the Boys who has 881. Just to kind of it's not his fault about scheduling and whatnot, but he's put up the most points. And Arab Sensation over here at 3-3 with 766 points. Just saying, reward a high scorer, we keep that slot open, which is sixth place, and then in a scenario like this, we put that person into that spot. Just something to think about. I know everyone's saying like how often does it happen, but it feels like it happens a lot. I had it written down somewhere. I'll get you guys those stats next time.
Matchups of the week.
All right. Like I said, on to week 7. It is what it is. We have Los Borrachos projected at 130 versus the Rook projected at 121. The Air Sensations projected at 117 versus the Nighthawk projected at 120. Los Tanks projected at 141 versus OG Men 140. Mike and the Boys projected at 145 versus the Warhammers at 125. The Fuegos projected at 133 versus the Rebel Scum projected at 110. So yeah, we'll take a look at matchups and everyone's team, see what's up. A lot of us going through buys. Our main guys going through buys. So we'll take a look and see what advice I could give you. All right. In our first matchup, we have Los Borrachos, third place, projected at 130, versus the Rook in fourth place, projected at 121. Los Borrachos is starting Josh Allen, Puka Nakua, Devontae Adams, Aaron Jones, hopefully, Roshan Johnson, hopefully, Dallas Goddard, David Montgomery, hopefully, KJ Osborne, and the Tampa Bay defense. The Rook is starting Kirk Cousins, Jalen Waddle, Drake London, Josh Jacobs, Brian Robinson, TJ Hawkinson, DJ Moore, Javonte Williams, and no defense. Trying to psych out Los Borrachos, but it's not going to work. Or is it? So yeah, for Los Borrachos, Josh Allen dealing with I think it's a shoulder thing. I'm not sure. He went out of the game against the Giants for it. They're saying he should practice today, but we'll see. Aaron Jones coming off a bye, still with the hamstring. Said he should be practicing this week. Not sure. He practiced all last week, and then last minute he was fucking out. Roshan Johnson, apparently he's still in concussion protocol. Not sure what that means. Fuck, it's already been like 2 weeks. Get over it. And Montgomery dealing with a rib thing. Everyone's saying it should be about a week or two. They have their bye week on week 9, so I don't doubt that he doesn't come back till week 10. They'll probably rest him, so that's fine. Fuck it, rest him. Got Brees Hall on bye, Chuba Hubbard on bye. Able to pick up Craig Reynolds just in case Montgomery doesn't go. I mean, points is points at this point. Zach Moss, but against Cleveland's defense, like I said, Cleveland's defense fucking legit this season. So I don't know. I doubt Indy does anything against them. Picked up Mason. I mean, maybe. Hopefully they decide to rest McCaffrey, and I got Jordan Mason throwing. I picked up Mayer, the tight end, since fucking Adams isn't getting the targets. Maybe he will. But we'll see. As far as the Rook, Kirk Cousins, San Francisco. I mean, they're easy on. They could be thrown on. I mean, you just had what's his name, PJ Walker, throw against them. Jalen Waddle against Philly. Philly, same thing. They're a good defense, but you could throw on them. Drake London. I mean, he's been coming along. They've been having to throw it a lot more because they go down by so much. They're at Tampa. Like I said, from what I've seen, Ritter struggles away from home. And but I mean, garbage time, you never know. A touchdown here and there should be good. Jacobs versus Chicago, good matchup. Chicago sucks on the against the run. Plus Jacobs is getting some of those little targets coming off the back, and I think it should be Hoyer, so should be a good amount of dump offs. Brian Robinson versus the Giants should be a good game. I'm not sure. I think the Giants are pretty good against the run. Don't quote me on it. I think they shut down last week was James Cook, But I mean, they shut down that whole offense. So I'm not too sure what they're ranked at. TJ Hawkinson, I mean, now that Justin Jefferson is an IR, he should get more targets. Um, DJ Moore, I mean, the rookie did target him a good amount when he came in. I forgot the guy's name. The rookie, he came in, started targeting him a lot more. So he should do fine. Just those targets aren't really catchable. That's the problem. Williams versus Denver. That's a pretty good matchup for Javonte Williams. Green Bay sucks against the run. Should be good for him. I mean, the only thing is McLeod or what that other running back got him on a good week with Burrow and Chase on a bye. Smith and Jigba maybe coming out of the bye they get him more involved. Same thing with Charbonnet. Usually, what they do, they pick up the rookies pick up after the bye if they care for them. Fucking Quinn Johnson. Got Kendrick. What's this guy's? It's something Ingram. Keontae Ingram. I took over instead of DeMarcado. Uh, Picked up Zach Evans from the Rams. Says he could get a starting nod, but they ended up activating Royce Freeman. They even picked up Miles Gaskin. They brought back Darrell Henderson Jr. I don't know. Hopefully he gets the start, but it's starting to look like a mess back there. Picked up the Washington defense. So that should put his total at 132, give or take. So yeah, Washington against the Giants. Tyrod Taylor did okay. He wasn't that great, and it says Daniel Jones should be practicing. He's not clear for contact, but he's practicing. Of course, the coach says he could have a chance to go, but that coach is a fucking liar. Um, yeah, it should be both projected fairly close, so it should be a good matchup. Like I said, Los Borrachos dealing with a lot of injuries, so we'll see how that works out. So good luck. Okay, our next matchup we have the Arab Sensations, sixth place, projected at 117, versus the Nighthawk, first place, projected at 120. So the Arab Sensation starting Patrick Mahomes, Stephon Diggs, Debo Samuel. My God, my bad. I gotta Jaleel McLaughlin. Starting Jerome Ford, Cole Kmet, Jalen Warren, George Pickens, and the Philly defense. The Nighthawk is starting Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, Curtis Samuel, B. John Robinson, Alexander Madison, Evan Ingram, Gabriel Davis, Sam Laporta, and the New Orleans defense. Let's see. Kendra Miller got injured. And then with Jamal Williams coming back, I doubt he gets a good. I mean, he could. It's a Thursday night game. They tend not to give the starting running back too many touches on Thursday, and they kind of even out a bit. And Njoku versus Indy. I mean, Watson should be coming back, but I just got a notification about him saying it's his rotator, so he might not be all right all season. But I think he's supposed to start this week though. He's gonna give it a go. Gibson, yeah. Jerry Judy, Green Bay's pretty good against wide receiver. Maybe this is a week Mims blows up. Got Jalen Warren and George Pickens back. I mean, Komet, he should get targets from the rookie, and Las Vegas struggles against tight ends, so should be a good matchup. My only advice would be maybe pick up drop Miller, pick up someone in this Monday night game, put Pickens as your wide receiver 2, put Debo in your flex. That way, in case you need to pivot into another player, in case he doesn't go. I mean, they're saying he's trending to go, but we all know what happened last time where he said he was gonna go. I think he only had like one target or something, and then he was out of the game. Against Minnesota, it should be an easy matchup for them. I don't think they'll want to risk re-injury, especially for Debo, since they're 5-1. They expect to go into the playoffs and stuff like that. So, doubt they want to risk their best players against Minnesota, who they should pretty much beat easily. Just a suggestion, put Debo on the flex, pick up I forgot that guy's name. But the wide receiver that's out there, the rookie, he did okay when either Ayuk was out or Debo Samuel was out. As far as Nighthawk, Herbert, Keenan Allen starters. Against KC, it should be maybe a shootout. Although KC's defense has kind of stepped it up, they look a little bit better. I mean, who knows how they look against Herbert and Keenan Allen? They have a little bit more firepower, but that defense looks pretty good. Herbert's hand, I think, is the only concern here. How it's kind of fucked up. But yeah, they're solid starters. They'll put up points. Curtis Samuel, he's been getting most of the targets over Jahan Dotson. Howell's just kind of throwing it near the screen, near the line. He's not really throwing deep. So he should be a good start. He gets the targets. I think he's been putting up double digits for the last few weeks. Bijan Robinson versus Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay has a pretty tough run defense. If they play him right, he should do good. But we all know Arthur Smith doesn't do what he's supposed to. He still has Tyler Algier out there. So that's my only problem with Bijan Robinson is that they don't give him the full workload. Maybe they don't think he could handle it, but I mean, he's always good for double digits. Madison versus San Francisco, it's a little bit harder, especially because, San Francisco's a tough defense. Madison is no bueno, fumbles, and yeah, they shut down Tony Pollard the week before. I think if Ford and Hunt don't score, their points don't look too good either. Evan Ingram, I mean, you start him; he's a starter. Check in on Trevor Lawrence. If Trevor Lawrence doesn't play, I'm not sure about Evan Ingram, especially also with New Orleans. They don't give too much points to the tight end position. Gabriel Davis, like I said, he's boomer bust. Either he gives you 2 catches for 20 yards, or he gives you 2 catches for 60 yards and a touchdown. So he's your flex. Sam Laporta, he should do well against Baltimore. I'm not sure about Goff at Baltimore. He doesn't do well away from home, but Should be a good. I mean, if he's healthy, I think the calf is okay. Put up 7 points last game, so yeah. I mean, it's a tight end. With tight ends, you hope and pray you get something out of them, not just a zero. Uh, New Orleans against Jacksonville. If Trevor Lawrence doesn't play, that'd be a good. It's gonna be good for them. Uh, he's got Derrick Henry, Adam Thielen, T. Higgins on bye, Connor on IR. Picked up Downs, not starting him. AJ Dillon. Probably hoping Aaron Jones doesn't play. Start him. Denver is good. Sucks against the run. Maybe Downs over Laporta. Maybe. I mean, Minshew's going to throw the ball no matter what. So, yeah, it just sucks that you got everybody pretty much on bye this week. But yeah, good luck to you both. All right. Our next matchup, we have Los Tanks, second place, projected at 141, versus the OG Men in fifth place, projected at 140. So another close projection. Um, Los Tanks is starting Brock Purdy, Tyreek Hill, Michael Pittman, Travis Etienne, DeAndre Swift, Kyle Pitts, Kyle Pitts, Christian Kirk, Isaiah Pacheco, and the Buffalo defense. OG Men is starting Trevor Lawrence, AJ Brown, Calvin Ridley, Kenneth Walker, Austin Eckler, Darren Waller, Chris Godwin, Jacoby Myers, and the Las Vegas defense. Okay. As far as Los Tanks, I mean, no one in your bench that I would start over anybody. Yeah, Zachers kind of fell off a bit last week. I don't know if they're trying to get McBride more involved or what's going on. You usually start your tight ends against Seattle. They're not very good against them, but if he does not get any targets, I don't see how would you start him. Fields is injured, so that's why starting Brock Purdy. Stevenson versus Buffalo. I mean, Buffalo's they let people run against them. But it's hard to trust that the New England offense. Got CeeDee Lamb on a bye. Najee Harris maybe gets it together. They just had the bye week, maybe a little bit better. But yeah, I'd start Pacheco against the Chargers. Like I said, Christian Kirk, if Lawrence is out, he might be iffy. I mean, you start him. He's been doing pretty good all season. Kyle Pitts, I mean, you're hoping there's going to be targets there, and it's not going to go to Jonu Smith. OG Man, Trevor Lawrence, like I said, they're saying he's iffy about playing. Who knows if he plays? He was struggling either way, so AJ Brown versus Miami, that should be a shootout game. Should be a good matchup for him. Calvin Ridley versus New Orleans. They're so against wide receivers. Lattimore is not the same guy that he used to be. He's not a shutdown anymore. Kenneth Walker, he's been doing pretty well against Arizona. I mean, we just saw Kyron Williams put up like 20 points against them, or 30. Eckler versus KC. Hopefully they give him more touches this game. Get him more involved in the offense. I felt they were just kind of easing them in, first game back. Maybe this game, as they predict, that should be a shootout game. Waller kind of came up with the last two games. He's been getting targets, especially with Tyrod Taylor. Now I guess you're hoping Daniel Jones doesn't come back. Godwin, I mean Baker. They said he injured. I don't know something about his finger, but I think he should be good. And against Atlanta, saw McLaurin put up a good amount of points against them, so it should be a good play. Jacoby Myers fucking getting all the targets over Adams, so he should be good against Chicago. And the Raiders against a rookie quarterback should be a good matchup. Got Hopkins. He hasn't been doing, especially with Tannehill now being out. I doubt he does anything with Malik Willis under center. Joe Mixon, he's been okay. Gus Edwards versus Detroit. They have a pretty good run defense. Williams, he hasn't been the guy that everyone hyped him up to be. Uh, Wilson, if maybe they activate him and he's off IR. Now, I mean, to me, I'd keep your starting as it is. Not really much advice I could give you. Maybe drop the Niner defense. But yeah, good luck to both of you. A ver qué. You're both projected kind of close together. See what happens. All right. And a not so close projected matchup. We have Mike and the boys in 7th place, projected at 145, versus the Warhammers, 10th place, projected at 125. Mike and the boys is starting Tua Tagovailoa, Devontae Smith, DK Metcalf, Raheem Mostert, Alvin Kamara, Travis Kelce, Terry McLaurin, Michael Thomas, and the Seattle defense. Warhammers is starting Jordan Love, Cooper Cup, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Rashad White, Zeke Elliott, George Kittle, Marquise Brown, Christian Watson, and the Indy defense. So we'll see if Mike and the boys can keep it up. Like I said, Devontae Smith struggling. They just added a Julio Jones. I'm pretty sure he won't start this week. I mean, who knows? Metcalf versus Arizona is a good matchup. Mostert, Philly's good against the run. And if Jeff Wilson comes back, I'm sure they'll dial down his touches. Fucking a week later. I have a Kamara versus Jacksonville. Like I said, he gets those dump offs, so he should do pretty well. Travis Kelce versus Chargers. I mean, he's gonna do his points. Terry McLaurin versus the Giants. It's a divisional matchup. Not sure how he does against them. It all depends on Sam Howell. See how he performs against the Giants. They'll be at the Giants, so a little bit harder matchup for them. Michael Thomas versus Jacksonville. At least to me, I don't like playing too many players on Thursday night, but to each their own. Seattle versus Arizona. Like I said, Arizona's falling off a little bit. Not that what do you call it? They haven't really been putting up like that anymore. He's got Tony Pollard on bye. That's it. Palmer, he's doing so. Cortland Sutton, Like I said, Green Bay is pretty good against the pass. Wandale Robinson, good pickup. I liked him. Had him last year. Did well a few weeks. Then got injured. Looks like he's come back, feeling better. Should get more involved and get more targets. Mm. Let's see. In the Warhammers, picked up Jordan Love versus Denver. Hopefully, that bye helped them out. Got some shit together, and because he looked like crap the last 2 games that he played. You should get Aaron Jones back. That'll help out, especially in the run game. Cooper Kupp versus Pittsburgh. I mean, he gets his targets. He should be good. Amon-Ra St. Brown versus Baltimore. They're good against the pass, but he shouldn't have a problem. It's Amon-Ra. They'll get him open. White versus Atlanta. I don't know, man. I don't think he's been right all season. He had like that one big game against Chicago, but that's Chicago. He's been having a lot of bad matchups, single digits. If you go off the pattern, he is due for a double-digit game this week. It is divisional, so we'll see. Zeke Elliott, he could have had a bigger game last game, but they called back a touchdown, I believe, or some shit like that. And like I said, Buffalo's pretty. They let a lot of running backs run against them. Yeah, George Kittle, you just start him. Hope he gives you something. If Debo or any of the other ones can't go, that'd be good for him. Marquise Brown at Seattle. Seattle's not that good. And Brown is getting the targets. Christian Watson, like I said, hopefully they're coming off the bye. They're feeling better. I'm not sure if Sertan is still shadowing their number ones, but if he does, it might be a long day for him. But I think they could scheme him into being open, or maybe he switches to Romeo Dobbs and leaves Watson. Indy versus Cleveland, yeah, like I said, Watson said it's a rotator thing on his shoulder, so he's not gonna be right. Indy should do well. They're at home. You got Nico Collins, Damian Pierce, and Ferguson on a bye. Let's see. Got a lot of wide receivers. Rashid Rice coming up. Hopefully they give him more playing time now that Watson is out. But we'll see. Because I believe he's earning a few more touches. Andy Reid was talking about him or something. Deontay Foreman versus Vegas. I mean, honestly, I didn't see Evans coming into the picture. They kept saying Foreman would have been the starter, is a starter, and I don't know what. But I felt like Evans was in there a little too much. Picked up Darrell Henderson. Yeah. I mean, he's familiar with the offense. I remember he was over Akers for a bit. But coming off the street, not sure how in football shape he is. But that's a good stash. Yeah, your problem is just running backs with White and Elliott as your starters. Because you have a good amount of wide receivers here. I mean, maybe Damian Pierce comes back next week, and that offensive line helps him out a little bit. But yeah, like I said, this is more of a lopsided projection, with Mike and the boys projected at 145 and Warhammers at 125. I mean, a lot could happen. Like I said, Miami doesn't have good matchups. They're playing against a tough defense this week. So we'll see. Good luck to both of you. All right. In our last matchup, we have the Fuegos in 8th place, projected at 133, versus the Rebel Scum, projected at 110, 9th place. The Fuegos are starting with Jalen Hurts, Tyler Lockett, Amari Cooper, Saquon Barkley, James Cook, Logan Thomas, Zay Flowers, Mike Evans, and the Cleveland defense. Rebel Scum is starting Jared Goff, Chris Olave, Brandon Ayuk, Christian McCaffrey, Jonathan Taylor, Mark Andrews, and Kareem Hunt, with no number 2 flex or defense. Trying to psych out the Fuegos, I see. For the Fuegos, Jalen Hurts versus Miami. That's a good matchup. They gave up a few points to the rookie of Carolina. Forgot his name, Young or something. Tyler Lockett versus Arizona. They're at home. He gets targets. Should be good to go. Cooper versus Indy. I mean, Cooper is number 1 in that offense, and he gets Watson back. Should get a few points. Saquon Barkley against Washington. He did decent against Buffalo. Maybe they'll ramp him up a little bit more this week. Last week was his first game back. He did pretty well. Came out without no injury. Probably just resting him this time. James Cook against New England. It's kind of hard to trust James Cook, especially with Latavius Murray kind of taking a few of those snaps. If they kind of struggle in this game, it'll be more Murray than Cook. Logan Thomas versus the Giants. Hopefully, he has a bounce back game. Not sure what happened against Atlanta, but he should be back. He gets targets. Zay Flowers versus Detroit. Detroit has a good run defense, but they're bad against the pass. Mike Evans, hopefully he comes back to what he was doing before the bye. Not sure if he's still not healthy. He just had a few drops in this last game, or else he would have had a big game. Cleveland, solid defense against Indy, and Gardner Minshew should be fine. Has Garrett Wilson on bye, and Williams is injured, out for 2 to 3 weeks. Probably won't be back till week 11. Like I said, and Tyler Algier. I mean, Tampa Bay has a good run defense, so I wouldn't start him. Romeo Dobbs, not sure. Against Denver, he sucked last game that they were before they went into the bye. Hopefully they get it together and get him more involved, but not sure how with Christian Watson back if that's going to be able to happen. Gibbs, I think they said he's trending on going. So if he would go, I'd put him over James Cook, just because if he gets bulk of the work, he's a good pass catcher. Baltimore has given up a lot of receiving to the running back. And that should be good. That's kind of what you want, especially with us with BPR. Got Dallas Cowboys on a bye. But yeah, that'd be my only move, would be Gibbs over Cook. Moving on to Rebel Scum, Jared Goff against Baltimore. I mean, Goff has been solid all season. I don't see why sit him now, although he does struggle on the road, so temper expectation. Chris Olave against the Jacksonville Jaguars. He should do well. says questionable. Not sure if he got injured or something. But he should do well, especially with, like I said, with Derek Carr getting healthier. He should be able to throw it a little bit more down the field. And Jacksonville, I guess, I think struggles against wide receivers. Ayuk, you start him over against Minnesota. McCaffrey, I mean, all I keep hearing is it just has to do with pain tolerance, if he can handle it. They're saying he should be a go for Monday. Might be a go for Monday. Maybe they're more cautious with him and sit him for 1 week, let him rest up. But who knows? With it being a Monday night game, it's kind of hard. I would move him to the flex, pick up someone in that game, and just in case something happens, you're able to switch it. Because, like I said, since our commissioner hasn't changed it where the player will go on waivers once his game starts. So if Monday night happens where last minute they switch him out, you're able to go to the wire. You put McCaffrey on IR and pick up a player. Or you would be able to drop a player that was on your bench and pick up someone off the wire to start in his place. Maybe look into that for next year. Jonathan Taylor versus Cleveland. Like I said, Cleveland's pretty good run defense. I mean, pretty good defense just in general. But maybe this is a week they'll give him more touches, more of a 70-30 split with him and Zach Moss. Andrews versus Detroit. Like I said, Detroit struggles against the pass. He should do well. Kareem Hunt at Indy. I mean, at this point, you need help on that. As far as for your other flex, I mean, I don't know why you're not starting Addison. I didn't see anything about him being injured. And he should get most of the targets. You got Spears and Stroud on a bye. Miles Sanders on a bye. I think Deontay Johnson should be back from IR. Out of these guys, I'd drop Quentin Johnson. I mean, I wanted to pick him up and start him, but even off the bye, they didn't give him any targets. I think it was one target, and that's the one where he threw the interception. That's my bad on me. I thought he would take over that Mike Williams role. Doesn't seem like it. Doesn't seem like he's doing much. Mims, man, he's so good when he's on the field, but they're just not giving him the touches. They're putting some Brad Johnson out there instead of him. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Justice Hill, but against Detroit, like I said, Detroit has a strong run defense. Maybe Cam Akers. But yeah, I would definitely put Addison in your flex number 2. Drop Quentin Johnson, pick up a defense. I'm pretty sure there's a good amount of defenses still left out there for you to pick up and start. Since Miles Sanders shows out, you could actually put him into your IR, even though he's on a bye week. Just FYI. If they're declared out and they're on a bye, you can move them into the IR. Just to give you a little wiggle room of who you can pick up. If you want, give me a second. Let me go. Defense. Oh no. Week 7 projected. Since you want to look at projections. I mean, the Rams are still out there versus Pittsburgh. I mean, I doubt they come in strong and whatnot. Giants versus Washington. Green Bay versus Denver. I don't know about Chicago versus Vegas. I mean, well, maybe, they are starting Hoyer. Could give up some stuff, and Chicago's at home. Usually people play tough at home. So, yeah, these four right here. I know Green Bay, they're not at home. They're at Denver. But against the struggling Denver offense, should do pretty well. Just a word of thought for you to take into consideration. But yeah, man. Good luck to both of you. A ver qué. It's ninth and eighth place playing each other. All right, and that should be it for me this week. Just a quick reminder for the chugs. It'll be me for Blowout. Mike and the boys chose Rebel Scum to chug, and the position challenge was OG Men. So that's 3 people. I forgot what else we chug for. I think that should be it, right? Was it high score chooses, blowout of the week, and then position challenge? Hey, we're up to $90 on the pot, so I mean, you could add more cash to it or just chug. Up to you guys. Aziz over here talking shit and then he didn't even chug. Che way. So yeah, just a reminder for the chugs. Do before the games on Sunday. Do it on a Saturday. Just shotgun a beer. Call it a day. Yes, too. So talk to you motherfuckers later. Good luck this week. Peace out, bitches.